Welcome back to Online Darts. Everyone, we're here at Chester Racecourse and we've got Webby with us. Webby, it's been a while since we've had you on. I've missed you. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm trying to think of
the World Championships, I think.
Yeah. Well, you need a break, don't you? You don't want to hear me every week, and people get to hear me every week on the Premier League, so we don't want to do too much. But no, it's nice to be here. It's not too far from where I live as well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm playing Mike tonight as well, so that won't last long, but it'll be fun.
Nice like tonight. Does that still give you the little bit of a taste of being a player that you still? It's still there inside you?
Yeah, sometimes. Look, I wish I was technically better. I still have little phases where I want to go back, but I'm just technically not sound. I'm not like, and it's I've not got darts anymore, but the way I hold the dart's not right. But it's just nice to sort of play these now and then, just because if sometimes if you're not involved in these, you don't play darts. Well, I play in the week to build up to it because you don't want to be hopeless. But yeah, it's nice to be involved, and obviously they're two good guys, so yeah, it'd be fun. One last dance as well between the pair. Nice to be here for that. Yeah, it will be. I mean, yeah, it's. I'm granted it's not going to be what we've witnessed in the past, but look, you're in the presence of two of the greats, aren't you? So you've got to embrace it. I think the natural rivalry, both will want to win the game. I don't think it's a massive format, but they'll still want to win. That hunger, don't get me wrong, then if one of them lost tonight, they're not going to leave here thinking it's just an exhibition. They'll be hurting a little bit. So, look, it's good to be here. And it's obviously, not being far from where I live, obviously it's in England, but I don't live a million miles away. It's nice for this sort of area as well, so I'm pleased. Look, obviously we haven't spoke since the Worlds, and darts has just gone to another stratosphere at the moment. Mainstream media reporting on it, all because of now a 17-year-old lad from Warrington has done some incredible things. What have you made of his whole journey so far? I think it's been brilliant. I think it's had everything a darts player's journey should have. There's been setbacks, there's been already getting criticised by some people for when he has an 85 average in a Euro Tour qualifier, so what? He got a little bit of booze in the crowd in Newcastle the other night. This is going to happen, isn't it? Look, he's experienced everything, and he's a good kid, and I think he's brilliant. He's been brilliant for everyone because he's rubbed these lads up. And you look at the celebrations when Mike beats him, and it's made Mike focus again, and all the players want to beat him. And he's a good lad. He's a great advert. He's brilliant for us who broadcast the event. He's brilliant for yourself. He's brilliant for everyone involved, and yeah, I like him. You touched on it there. Has that reignited MVG, because he was giving it some, especially the last couple of nights when he's beating him? Yeah, but I've got no problem with players giving it some. I've got no problem with Luke Little having a little strop when he lost to Gerwyn Price of the week. No problem with that. That shows he cares. I don't want to see him smiling all the time when he gets beat. But yeah, it's a good little rivalry, and they'll keep playing. They'll play each other more. Little will get him. He's got him once already. He'll get him again. Mike will keep getting him. There'll be an interesting rivalry. I expect them to both be at playoffs in the O2. But I'm enjoying watching it develop, and all the support acts that are in the Premier League as well are playing their part. It's been good so far. I think it's been brilliant. Even Peter Wright, who's got no points, is showing the hunger. He's getting better, and it's good to see. We all know that Mike, I know he's in earshot, but I don't mind saying it, he loves to be the centre of attention. The fact he wasn't... Did you not know? No. The fact that he wasn't, would that have hurt? Yeah, possibly, but at the same time, I don't think he's his thing about that anymore. I mean, he deflected the pressure when he played Gerwyn Price in the match play final, saying he's the favourite. He don't care about that anymore. He probably does deep down, but I think on the front, he knows that sometimes he's got to take a back seat, and he'll think, I'll prove these people wrong. And look, he's already dominating the Premier League. He's pretty much in the playoffs already. I know he needs 9 more points, but he'll get them. And it's just sometimes Mike just needs to kick up the backside. He'll admit that, but he never lets it go into sort of weeks or months. He had a bad defeat against Scott Williams, but apart from that, I don't think he's played that bad for a while. He had a dodgy leg against Michael Smith, but in terms of a game, look, he accepts defeat, Michael Van Gerwen, and just gets on with it the week after and does it again. And I think he's been given a kick up the backside by Luke Littler, but I don't think he was ever not hungry even when Luke wasn't here. On that Premier League, we're 4 weeks in, and he is dominating already. Is it kind of ominous for the rest of the field now that he is doing what he's doing? Yeah, but he's got to listen to his own advice, doesn't he? You don't win the Premier League in February, April or March. Got them the wrong way around. But yeah, you win it on playoff night in May. So he said that last year. Look, he will lose some quarterfinals. He'll have some bad nights. It's part and parcel of it. But look, he's there. He was never not going to get there. He knows how to play this format. He knows how to make a bad game just right, brush it under the carpet, we go again. If he has a dodgy one in Exeter this week, it won't fester into the UK Open. He's good like that, he's headstrong, and yeah, it is a bit ominous for the other players, but at the same time, the other 3 that join him, because he is going to go to the playoffs, will realise it's a separate comp. There's effectively 16 weeks and 1 comp on its own to win the Premier League, and they've got to clutch that.
When you've won 3 in a row, it's his own problem now that we've seen him switch off and get bored in the past, and are you worried that that may happen for the rest of the league format?
Yeah, I kind of was, but then I've spoken to him tonight, and he's kind of setting himself targets, little targets to himself, and it's not, look, he's not deluded enough to think he's going to win every night, but he said, look, if I can grab 2 points here, you know, some nights he'll go there, he does average around about 92 sometimes, if he can find 2 points, they're like mini victories in themselves. So he's got targets he sets himself, he's not going to be too vocal about this, he's just told me that there, and I think he's going to learn from last year when he got very complacent, I think, in the Premier League at times. On
the Premier League, we're obviously looking at it, Gerwyn Price, someone that has played so well but can't win at the moment in terms of titles, and we saw him walk off on a Pro Tour because he didn't like conditions. Are you worried that there's stuff going on behind the scenes with Gezi that he's not fully focused on darts right now?
No, do you know what? I think he's actually gradually getting a little bit better. I think he's doing okay. He shouldn't have walked off that game. He probably regrets that himself. He should have just played it out, even if the conditions are bad. He'd won 2 games, just play it out and, you know, lose. Look, once you fall 2 down, your head's gone. Just stay there and just take it. But I was pleased for him that he beat Luke the week after, Luke Littler. Look, I think he's getting better. He's going to be in the mix for the top 4. He's not as dominant as he was in the league phase last year, but I still think mini steps, he's getting better every week.
Will it eat him up though, the fact that he's not winning titles like he wasn't expecting himself?
Yeah, well, he's a winner, isn't he? It's going to bug him, but you've got to put the hours in, which I don't doubt Gezi does. I think he will get some titles because he finds a way to click, and yeah, he obviously takes defeat hard, but I don't think he takes as hard as he did a couple of years ago. He gets on with it the week after. I do think the Premier League now, he won't be as... A few years ago, I think he'd have panicked if he'd had this start, because he knows what he could produce, he knows what it's like to be at the playoffs on a fine list. He'll be okay.
Peter Wright, obviously there were question marks around his inclusion in the Premier League from fans, and some pundits as well were questioning whether he should have been in. Is it almost getting to the point where it's must win for him? Because I know the performance was good this week, but he's still pointless after 4 weeks is the issue.
I don't question his inclusion for a start. I think he had to be there. As European champion on a year when we kind of heavily criticised him. If you're poor and you go win the European Championships, you're doing something all right. He was brilliant the other night, but I'm with you there. He's got to start getting some points. He lost the last 3 of last year. He lost the first 4 of this year. He took to week 6 to get points. It's going to get to he plays Nathan on Thursday. So if he loses to Nathan, he will be at least a night win behind any player in the league. And he'll be aware of that. So I think he needs to beat Nathan, because you just give yourself a lot to do.
Looking at the Premier League as a whole, we're seeing in different spells from players. And I look at Nathan and Michael Smith in particular, where 1 minute it's brilliant and the next minute it's way off. What would you put that down to, their inconsistencies right now?
I don't know, it's just part of the game, isn't it? I mean, I think Nathan did really well the other night. Yeah. And to be fair to Nathan, 2 weeks ago, I was expecting some Milton Keynes. He was really down. All his interviews with you were like, I'm not playing well. Yeah. You can turn things around if you've got a big heart, Nathan, and I've always said it, you give everything, whether he's averaging 80 or 100. So you just got to keep chipping away. Look, the Premier League is a fantastic tournament. If you can win it, great. But the bread and butter is your rankings, so just give it everything every week. Michael Smith will do that. They've got good attitudes, all these 8 players. They do get stranky, but they're headstrong players, all major winners. Luke hasn't won a major yet, but he's not going to. He will be soon. And they're just headstrong, so setbacks, you need to be strong enough to go the week after, and they know what the crack is. I think they'll be fine.
Johnny Clayton seems to be returning to some kind of form. There were good signs at the last block of Pro Tours, and then obviously as we're recording this, he beat Michael with a big ton top in average in Swansea. There are signs that the old ferret is slowly returning after.
I'm glad, because he don't half moan, does he? You know what I mean? But do you know what? I'm pleased with Johnny. Look, we have a bit of banter, me and Johnny, but obviously he had a rough time at Blackpool. Obviously his father passing away, and then he went into a bit of autopilot at match play, but then it will have a knock-on effect, and his heart wasn't in it. the World Championship, he was under so much pressure. He was never. All he wanted to do was get in the Premier League. He didn't want to win the World. You got to go there to win the title. And I knew when he played Rob Cross, I feared that was all happening. I think he feared it as well. He may not admit it, but he's been top of the game for a while now. These setbacks are going to happen. These sort of little phases. You've got to dig yourself out. And I spoke to him on the phone the other night. He's got some new darts, and he's going to go with him. He's going to go with him and keep going with him, even if he has some bad results. He's going to go with him. So yeah, no, I'm pleased. I don't like, particularly my friends as well, I'm struggling. But he's had a brilliant career already, and if he never won another event, how can we judge? But yeah, it was good to see. I was glad he beat Michael with that average as well, because he's been around about the 94, 95 mark, which isn't Johnny. He needs to get himself up a bit. It was around 103, wasn't it? So that was good to see, and yeah, I hope he kicks on. UK Open on the horizon as well. The FA Cup of Darts. I can't ask you who you think's got a nice draw or whatever, because we don't know. But this is the one tournament that gets most people excited, isn't it? Oh, it is good. I mean, obviously I work for the broadcaster ITV, and you sort of sit on that balcony watching. I like the draw for the Friday night. It's a big draw, and it will chuck a Premier League match in there. You know, I guarantee, or maybe one of that magnitude, like a Bangor versus Chisnell or something.
Yeah, we had MBJ Anderson a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it chucks it in there, and the crowd responds to it. But this is a tournament where these players have got to go down and think, this is my chance. For someone who's just got to talk out, if the draw's nice to you, you can get to the last 16 and you don't play no one. Not no one, no top players. Whereas you could play everyone. So I think your head's got to be on at this UK Open, because Andrew Guild and Danny Noppert the last 2 years have shown what you can do. If you just beat the man in front of you, they weren't the best players that weekend, but they won the title, and that's all that matters. So I think it's a brilliant event. No one's safe. Van Gerwen is playing Luke Humphries first on an Exeter. They could literally be the first game the night after as well. That's how brutal it is. But I love the event. I think it's brilliant. The open draw elements are something different, and I wouldn't be surprised. The quarterfinals will chuck up. There'll be 4 there that no one even thinks will get there.
Who are you expecting a run from at the UK Open that's not in the Premier League?
Based on what I've seen, I'd expect Chris Dobey to do okay. I think it's a tournament that lends itself to his sort of demeanour, but that's draw dependent. He draws Michael Van Gerwen, and I look silly, don't I? Obviously Gary Anderson as well. You'd expect Ryan Searle on home soil, kind of. Gets a lot of support down there, but the UK Open form goes out the window. You'd think these guys will do well with a good draw, but you never know. But it's going to be good. And like I said, what keep going on, the open draw can chuck anyone at anyone, and I'm looking forward to it.
On Michael, is this a bit of a free hit in terms of his ranking? Because I don't know if you've looked, but he's defending about 73% of all of his ranking money this year, and the UK Open is one that he's not. It's defending a lot of money this year.
Well, that means it's not a free hit then, because this is only freebie, so you've got to go for it. So the phase free hit, I know what you're saying, it's a chance to make some profit, but yeah, you can't go and think, I'm not defending anything, let's chill out. He needs to this is a chance to make some profit. He's too good not to. 73% of someone's money on any other player, you think you'd worry about him. Michael will win majors, he'll defend the majority of that.
Very absolute pleasure talking to you here at Testament. Thank you very much.
No worries, mate. See you, mate.